We've all been there. You're in your favorite battleship and you make the wrong turn, and suddenly you're sent back to port before the battle is even 5 minutes old. Or maybe you're a cruiser captain angled perfectly when half your health vanishes from the direction you never saw coming. You glance at the minimap and see your entire flank just evaporated again. It's infuriating. It feels like rotten luck or maybe just bad teammates. But what if I told you it's not always the team's fault? What if the real reason you're losing isn't because you missed a few shots, but because you were in the wrong place 10 seconds before you even fired? Positioning is the single most important skill in World of Warships, and it's one of the things the game never really teaches you. Well, today, we're going to change that. We're breaking down the 5 simple, brutal positioning mistakes that are losing you games, and we're going to fix them starting right now. Alright, let's kick things off with the biggest trap on every single map, the border. We've all seen it happen. A battleship takes one hit and makes a beeline for the edge of the world, thinking it's a safe harbor. This is mistake number 1, and it's a certified game loser. The logic seems sound, doesn't it? If I go to the edge, no one can flank me. The problem is, you're just preventing a flank. You're taking yourself out of the entire battle. When you're glued to the red line, your firing angles become pathetic. You can only shoot the 1 or 2 ships directly in front of you. You can't support the outside of the map, and you become completely predictable. Even worse, the game actively punishes you for this. The second your hull touches that border, your engine power gets slashed, and your rudder feels like it's stuck in concrete. That safety you were looking for, it's an illusion. You are now slow, sluggish, perfectly straight-lining target. Any decent player will see you on that line, and you know exactly where to aim. You've just made the job 1,000 times easier. You might as well have painted a giant shoot me sign on your deck. So what's the fix? Stop seeing the border as a shield and start seeing it as a cage. When you need to disengage, you don't run away, you kite. Kiting is the art of retreating while staying effective. Angle your ship away from the enemy, but keep them in your rear firing arcs. This makes you a tough target while letting your rear guns keep blazing. You control the fight by setting the range, and most importantly, you stay in the battle, and you keep your health for the late game, where it really matters. Never run to the A line or the J line. Instead, run parallel with the 1 line or the 10 line, giving yourself room to maneuver. Mistake number 2 is for all my aggressive players out there, especially my fellow destroyer captains. We see a green circle, our inner voice screams, "I need it now!" And we slam on the throttle, charging straight into the cap. 2 minutes later, we're watching the rest of the game from the spectator cam. This is the back to port cap rush. It feels like you're doing something important, but it's one of the fastest ways to throw your ship away and your team's chances to win. Rushing the cap blind at the start is a gamble with terrible odds. You have 0 information. Is there a destroyer there? Are there 2 cruisers with 9-kilometer radar hiding behind that island? Is the battleship already aimed at the most obvious entrance? You won't know until you're spotted. Focus down, and it's way too late. Remember this, your first job at a capture point is not to capture it, it's to get information safely, trading your full health destroyer, the eyes and ears of your fleet, for 30 seconds of early cap pressure. It's a terrible, terrible trade. Here's how you fix it. Approach every cap with a plan, and more importantly, an escape route. Instead of steaming in nose first, try backing into the cap. This way, your bow is already pointed towards safety. The moment you're detected or a radar pops, you hit the throttle and you're gone. Use the edge of your concealment circle, creep forward until you touch the cap line, then slow to quarter speed. Let the enemy make the first mistake. If you spot their DD, you've won that information war without firing a single shot. Now you control the engagement. You can't fight or launch torpedoes, or just keep them spotted for your team. A patient destroyer that lives to see the late game is infinitely more valuable than a dead one who briefly turned a circle green. Islands are your most powerful tool for controlling a battle. They give you a hard cover, break line of sight, and set up devastating ambushes. But for way too many players, they're not a tool, they're a trap. This is mistake number 3, becoming an island magnet. You know the type. They find a nice big island early on, tuck their ship in behind it, and pat themselves on the back for their brilliant positioning. They're safe from battleships. Sure, but they're also completely useless. They have no shots, they can't see the enemy, and the moment the battle shifts, they're hopelessly, fatally out of position. An enemy pushes around the corner and the island magnet is stuck broadside with no room to run, or their flank collapses and the island that was supposed to protect them becomes a prison, cutting off their only escape as the enemy swarms in. They've turned a piece of cover into their own tomb. The solution is to treat islands like a temporary shield, not a permanent home. Your goal is to use the island to control who can shoot you while maximizing who you can shoot. Don't just park behind it, dance with it. Use the edge of the island to slice the enemy in half, positioning yourself so only 1 or 2 ships can target you at a time. This is how you survive getting focused. And always have an escape plan. Before you commit to a spot near an island, ask yourself, if I get pushed right now, where do I go? If the answer is, I don't know, you're in the wrong spot. Good positioning isn't about finding one safe place and staying put. It's about flowing from one strong position to the next as the fight evolves. The next mistake is subtle, deadly, and probably killed you more times than any other. It's the sin of tunnel vision, and it turns you into a crossfire victim. Here's the scene. You're in your battleship, locked in a tense duel with an enemy cruiser. You're focused. You're just waiting for him to show that juicy broadside. Your turrets are tracking, finger on the trigger, and then from the side, a wall of citadels rips through your hull, and you just evaporate. You are so zoomed in on the target in front of you that you completely forgot about the 2 battleships on the flank with a perfect flat broadside shot on your ship. This happens because we forget about the most powerful weapon in our entire arsenal, the minimap. Not looking at your minimap is like driving a car while staring at the hood ornament. You are blind to 99% of the battlefield. The minimap tells you where the enemy is, where they're going, and critically, where the guns are pointed. The solution is a discipline, and it's non-negotiable. You have to look at your minimap every 10 seconds. Make it bigger. Seriously, go into the settings and crank up the size. It should be a constant flow of information. Before you push, check the map. While you reload, check the map. While you're angled against one ship, check the map and see who else is angled on you. Your goal is to never give the enemy free crossfire. Picture lines drawn from every enemy ship's guns. Your job is to position yourself so you're only exposed to 1 or 2 of those lines at a time, and you're always at an angle. If you see the enemy forming a pincer around you on the minimap, it's not time to push harder, it's time to back off, re-angle, and force them to face you one-on-one. Angling against one ship is easy. Angling against 3 at once is impossible. Don't let it happen. Our final mistake is the opposite of the go back to port rush, but it's just as lethal. This is the error of playing like a statue. It's the player who gets into what they think is a safe spot behind an island or in a smoke screen, and then just stops. You've panic smoked as a destroyer. You're safe, right? Wrong. You just put up a giant neon sign that says, "Torpedoes welcome here." A stationary target is a dead target. A moving target is a problem. Be a problem. Your survivability will skyrocket and you'll be alive for those crucial final moments of the game where your guns can make all the difference. So there you have it. 5 game-losing positioning mistakes that are costing you wins. From border hugging to playing like a statue. These are the habits to watch out for in your own gameplay. Now I want to hear from you. Which one of these 5 are you most guilty of? I'll be honest. The island magnet still gets me more often than I like to admit. Drop your story in the comments below. And hey, if this guide helps you survive just one more battle, if it helps you flip one loss into a win, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more guides to help you master the seas. Look, World of Warships is a game of angles and information. It's not always about having the best aim or the biggest guns. It's about putting your ship in the right place at the right time and denying the enemy that same advantage. Stop hugging the border and get in the fight. Stop blindly rushing caps and start outsmarting your opponent. Use islands as tools, not prisons. Watch your mini-map to deny those devastating crossfires. And for the love of all that is holy, keep moving. If you can turn these 5 mistakes into 5 strengths, you'll stop being a victim of battle and you'll start taking control. You'll survive longer and you'll have more impact. And you will absolutely win more games. That's all for today, captains. Stay safe out there. I'll see you on the water. Bye-bye.